we're back again. Hopefully this time with less echoey stuff. I literally just finished a video, like cut it after 45 seconds because I didn't want to swear at the beginning. But essentially all I was saying is, I'm so screwed. Once I posted the video, I figured a few things out. One, I don't know how to make a thumbnail. No clue. Two, I'm never gonna make it. I have no chance. Because once I posted it, I got bored and I went on TikTok and I saw a bunch of jars being pushed down a set of stairs. And I'm like, man, this is so much more entertaining than me. I don't stand a gosh darn chance. I'll take a Juan Hyoto. Does he have... Yeah, the Juan Soto was just too good. But that's exactly what I thought. I'm like, how the goalie... We're more than a minute in. I probably can start swearing at some point. Like, how am I gonna compete with this? I think I'm silly and funny, but I ain't that silly and funny. You can't compete with jars being pushed downstairs. That's a severe lack of not caring about anything. Can you imagine cleaning that up after? Oh my goodness. No, I'm not doing Tony Gwynn. Thing you need to know about this format is defense does not matter because it's all hitting base. So just grab the people who have the best offensive stats. Like, don't get me wrong, Joey Gallo has the best stats, but his PC, I'm going to pick him because I like him. His PCI is so small. Scooby da. I don't need. But again, it's all about getting good hitting. And plus, once you're done like two or three of the actual challenges, you're gonna be close to having all diamonds and gold players anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Let's just make sure everything's built the way I like it, because sometimes I'll be like, yeah, this is fine. Yeah, like I posted that first video, or at least I watched it, like the first few seconds, because I was curious on how it sounded or how everything was going. I definitely heard an echo. But I'm like, okay, might as well just post it. And I'd be shocked. I'm so nervous because I'm going to be constantly checking up on it throughout the video. And I am so nervous to get a view. I'm so nervous to get a comment too. Because I'm sure it's not going to be pretty. Alright, yeah, shut up. Let me just swing the bat. It's silly. Because I see a lot of people doing franchise mode, and again, probably will do some of that. I'm going to have no life if I want to get this channel to grow at all and have enough content to be constantly posting. Thank you. I love this auto running. I should have went to this earlier. Because like it really does... Oh, his PCI is not too bad. And I really like his swing. I used to use Joey Gallo's swing in as my main swing. You know, I should just do this right away. Just get it out of the way. Where am I? video, you. We're just gonna move you over here so you can see the cards at least. All right. So like if I go like that, there you go. You can see Joey Gallo's pretty face. Ooh. Whenever I think of Joey Gallo, I think of when he was on Texas and he's just like, oh, he's talking about MLB 22. I'm gonna mention that a lot because I had 16 with Josh Donaldson on it, and then I had 22. Joey Gallo, you pimp. He's playing 22, and he's just like, man, they did me so dirty because in the game they would have a picture of the players, and he's just like, why'd they use the ugliest picture of me? And I'm like, that's so funny because it was ugly as hell. But yeah, like I see a lot of people, how is Oakland the #1 team? I'm not good with Tony Gwynn. But yeah, like I do want to do franchise mode in the future because I definitely think it'll be fun. But so many people do it. We'll figure something out. Do I know what that something is yet? No. Because if I did, I'd be famous already. But yet again, I don't think famous is the end goal here. It's just the placeholder word that I'm using. Oh man, I am starving. What did I eat today? I had something for lunch, I think. Yeah, this is the 3rd video. So, posted Monday, Wednesday. Maybe after this I'll do some super auto pets. Because those are very easy and quick videos. Like I do feel bad about the loading screens and the amount of time in between stuff. If you think that's being edited out, I got bad news for you, brother. I just can't afford to have a ground out here. That will do it. First pitch swinging. I remember when Blake Snell was so scary on Tampa Bay in 22. Here's a drinking game. Every time I talk about MLB 22, chug a bottle of vodka. That is not, do not do that. Kids, listen to me. It's a joke. It's a parody. It also reminds me of the, oh my God, Basement Yard podcast, where he's just like, people who take shots of vodka are one or two things, are something, and yeah, I'm not explaining this well. So in the Basement Yard, it's a podcast of two people talking to each other, and Joey's just like, yeah, people who take shots of vodka are, and at the same time, one says either 13 or whore. One says 13, the other says whore at the same time, and you're like, ooh, well, these both can't be true. Just, that's what made me think of. Oh, who do I want to pick? Ooh, Brandon Belt. Well, you know what I'm going to say. Blue Jay. He probably has the best hitting stats. Because he's just a very well-rounded hitter. I love him on the Blue Jays. Let me see. We don't have anybody to take advantage of Bunchies as of right now. But, like, I love Brandon Belt. I think he's hitting too high up in the lineup as of right now. Because he just walks so much, which is very good. Don't get me wrong. But he's hitting like 250, and he doesn't have, like, I feel like 17 home runs would be okay at this point to be hitting that low. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to look all the time. I do not expect... Okay, nobody's watched anything yet, which is good. Because I would love for somebody to watch it while I'm not constantly checking up on it. Because I'm going to be so nervous. Let's see. Let's read the situation. It needs to be in the air. That would have been horrible if I got that in the field. He definitely would have. Hopefully, guy for third is smart enough not to run on that. I'm so hungry. This is insane. I don't know what to eat. I gotta stop swinging at this shit. I mean, 2 of them have fit in the strike zone, so I don't feel as bad now. Nope. It's weird. I no longer think of George Springer as an Astro. I only see him as a Blue Jay, since you might be able to tell, a little bit biased. But obviously he was, it's crazy to think of how good of a career he's had. Was he Rookie of the Year? I know they did, I don't know what the right phrasing is. Contract manipulation, timing manipulation, where they kept him down as long as possible so they could have him in the system as long as possible. I find the walking up and down the stairs animation over there so funny. Ooh, baby, I love this game. It's so nice when you get something going your way. I don't know. Maybe I should start making challenges. Being okay, if this gets 5 likes. I don't know, I don't have a reward yet. What am I gonna do? Be hey, if you give this 5 likes, I'll give you a thumbs up for free. You know, I don't have very much negotiation powers right here. Actually, no, hold on. That's a good one. This one's too risky. The Eagle Eyes. Hopefully, I need somebody fast. I hate when they accidentally glitch out and you don't actually get to see their stats. This guy's fine. You can steal with him. As long as you have one guy in a late game situation that you could use to steal, you should be fine. I'm still trying to think of anything I can do to bargain for these 5 likes on this video that hasn't been posted and probably won't be for another 5 days, 2 days. I don't even record my Twitch streams anymore. I did and I never posted them. Oh, you're only in Shohei? Frick. Yeah. How good is Shohei in this? Obviously he's fantastic, but is this his 95 card? Fuck. Sliders are hard. I think I mentioned this earlier. I'd rather try and hit a curveball than a slider. I feel like sliders are damn near impossible. There we go. Oh, fucking shift. That. I feel bad for Joey Gallo. That's in the gown. I don't think I've seen Juan Soto hit yet, which is very impressive by me. So we've ended these all pretty quickly. Because Jock Peterson. Oh, he's the unsung hero of this game right now. Oh, okay, thank you. Does he have a curveball? Yeah, again, you could... Oh my. Jump. I was kind of a Jock Peterson hater, or Pedersen, or how do you pronounce his name? Hater? I didn't think he was that good. Oh, get through. Alright, now we got the B squad's kind of got to step it up now. This chair's so squeaky. It's right there on all of these, which is so frustrating. I keep swinging, but that's because these are all decently good pitches to swing at. I hate how squeaky this chair is. It's weird because I have posted 2 videos on YouTube before, but they were of me playing hockey, and they have like 1,000 views each. But like, I did like post them on my Facebook when I was, I don't know, 14, so they got like a couple hundred views there, and I probably watched them 200 times also. Oh my goodness. This guy's stats are probably out of the world. Out of this world. Like, he probably has 120 hits per 90. And the defense is perfect against me. This might be a quick video. Time to battle. This is where heroes are made of. I lied. We're gonna go through it again. That's so embarrassing. Oh, I don't like. I know what I should do. Like, my actual personal, I have a YouTube channel for this. I have a Twitch channel for this. And now I have, where am I on this one? No, this is World Classic. I have a Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter account. And the Twitter account is, as I probably mentioned earlier, this guy has been raking, so I'm going to take him again. Juan, you're number 2. Brandon Belt was doing well for me. And the way that I was doing well is by retweeting from my personal accounts. I'm like, I don't want to do this because I'm so embarrassed to actually like associate myself with this. I want to build my own community that's not around the people that I personally know. Because, again, I'm pretty sure I just picked this one. Because I feel like my friends would just make fun of me. If I ended up getting like a couple hundred or 1,000 subscribers or followers or whatever, then I'd be more confident. If I was just doing something for fun, they'd probably make fun of me, which is, it's not okay. Follow your dreams and do as you want. But when I first started making some Twitch videos, it really blew my mind how impressive it is that for these YouTubers, these streamers, to constantly have a line of dialogue or something to talk about the whole time, and also while concentrating on the game. It's insanity. What am I gonna have for dinner? I have chicken. That's literally all I've ate today is chicken. Maybe I'll go get a. I had one yesterday. A McFlurry. I'll get 55 hamburgers, 55 burgers, 55. It's amazing. I haven't watched a single one of those sketches, but I know them all very well. The I Think You Should Leave or whatever it's called. Oh no. That was a tower. Oh, this guy's slow. Who's pitching? Oh, I'm glad I got a piece of that. Holy hell. Did I muscle that? No, definitely not. Jock, I need you to figure this out for me. I've depended on you too much. Oh, ho, ho. I'm sure if I get any comments, you're gonna be like, why do you do this between each pitch? It's kind of so I get used to practicing getting to these spots, and I just like making it a star every time. I don't think that's enough either. I'm running out of top hitters. I think Juan Yodo's up next. You have to admit, the jerseys are pretty slick. I should have tried hitting that the other way. I'm just trying to pull everything. It's not smart. Is he a push? He's an extreme pull. Holy cow. It's weird because he's not good up top. At least that's him with the Blue Jays. He gets beat up here a ton. I watch too much Blue Jay games, that's for sure. And that's how you crush it. Thank you very much. You know what I can do? Yeah, I found my negotiation chip. If I get 5 likes on this video, I'll open those packs. Or I'll spend my money to buy packs. Yes, that'll get them. That'll trick them into doing it. I'm never ahead in the count, but worth a shot, baby. I don't think I've updated. Did I? Okay, no, I have been. I'm going to talk about the other video so much. I was trying to make a thumbnail. I stream through Steam or Streamlab or whatever the heck it's called. Yeah, Steamlab. And you could make a thumbnail through them. And I was going to, and it was awful. I'm not going to be like, oh, it was amazing. It would have grabbed everybody's attention. No, it would not have. However, like, I went to use it and download it, and they're like, actually, $19 for the year. I'm like, okay, never mind then. And it was going to say, like, literally, I don't know how to make thumbnails. I'm ahead of the count. Let's go green light. I feel like there's going to be a square. Thank you, everybody. I'll be here all day. Are they going to send him? They're sending him. Oh, and it's a bad throw, so we're good. a base clearing double. You don't see that every day. You might. I don't know what you do. That's going to advance the runner at least, which is good. I still need 2 runs. It's not like... You have 21 outs? Okay. Nope. We point and we laugh at those and we say, how dare you think I'm going to swing at that? I got the perks to make me more patient. I'm not swinging at that garbage, it's pop-ups. Oh, no! You can't make fun of them and then swing at it. I feel shame. That's well struck at least. I don't think it's gone, but it's definitely going to advance the runner. Holy Crawford's slow. I do need to get on base. I need another person. Lead off magic. Senior belt. Senior belt. No, again, if it's around the edges, it's a lot easier to hit. Because you just, like, pull and push to get somewhere. If you have to be precise, that's where it's really hard. Oh, I thought it was a curveball. And there's a runner. Ty France is such a letdown for me. I have him in my fantasy league, or at least I did. I expected big things, and he just had, like, he hasn't been that great. I'm not a Seattle fan, so if there's a Seattle fan, that'll be rare, you know? Whenever the Blue Jays play there, they're all Blue Jay fans. I was trying to slap that the other way, to be honest. That's one of the few ones where I'm like, yeah, you know what? I did a good job there. Oh, my. Brandon. I saw a hack. I don't know if it's true. It was on like a short. It said when your player toes tap, that's when you need to swing, because it's automatic and they time it up. So it would make sense for them to always be ready to swing at the right moment. Video games like this, though, actually blow my mind. How do you code something? I know it's not one person doing everything. That'd be idiotic. But, like, that's so much... There's so much to go on. Like, it's the pitcher stats versus the batter stats, and then how good the player is on top of it, and then how good all the fielders are. Like, it's It's crazy, truly. Get this delayed character out of here. They don't have too many mid bosses. I guess they're all just mini bosses at this point. Because you have to win them all to get to the end. In the other game, I'm not going to say the name of it because then people have to drink. It would be like 3 in a row where you could win and earn cards. And if you lost, you just didn't earn a run versus the major boss. But you didn't just lose. Here, if you lose, is this Polo Grounds? Yeah, it must be. Is that over his head? Could be deep enough though. Especially with a terrible throw like that. Like, you just have to sneeze this into left and right field for it to be a home run. Especially if you pull it, not like if you get into the corners over here. If you get it by the flagpole, I think it's like 200 yards. Like, I think this is a very cool stadium. I think it'd be awful to watch a baseball game unless you're in the, like, I don't know, in a good seat, which I have no idea. Because if you're in the back right of center field, you're 600 feet away from the game. You can't see anything. Stop. I guess I should have him at least on the bench. I never use the bench players. I have in the past for a late run if I have somebody on second, but never. Again, if you stick with it long enough, you're going to get discovered on something. Might not be your best work ever, but as long as you have enough of a backlog to where if they're like, oh, this guy's funny. This is where I lost it last time. You dog. But like, that's why I stuck around with Northern Line. I was in high school and I discovered him. Makes it sound like I'm the talent guy here, but I discovered him when he was playing The Binding of Isaac, what he calls vanilla now. That's what got me into. He's the one who got me into Dark Souls and that kind of stuff. But fuck him also. He's the one who made me buy Dark Souls 2. I remember him being like, he's gone back on the stance. Disgusting. He's gone back on the stance, but he used to say Dark Souls 2 was better than people gave it credit for. And I bought that game and I was like, this is terrible. He's gone back on it because he did a punching only run, and like, that is idiotic. Let's see what this guy's stats are, because they're probably really, really good. Oh, It's just captain version of him. His stats aren't even that good. Famous last words, I'm aware, but oh, I'm just missing it. All right, this is spooky. I'm just early on everything. It's because you have to respect the 100, and then you're early on it. This is my psychoanalytic of why Shohei Ohtani is good. His fastball is fast. His cutter is just slow enough to where you're early on it. And then he's got a really good slider. And he also will hit 45 home runs. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. The next person I'm going to be talking about is Wayne Gretzky. Controversial take. He was overrated. That's not true. He wasn't overrated. But he did play against goalies that had pads made out of pillows, and him scoring on wrist shots along the ice from the blue line hurts my soul. I'm a big Mario Lemieux best player ever. Just because he was a freak. He was so big and so skilled. He was just as good of a playmaker. I don't know as good of a scorer, but again, it's weird because Wayne Gretzky played in an era where there were literally plumbers defending his honor as fighters. That's why my genuine opinion, this is a weird hill to die on, but I think McDavid, hold on. Oh, fuck off. McDavid's skill gap between the second best player in the NHL is more impressive than Wayne Gretzky's skill gap between him and the first and second best player. The second best player in Wayne Gretzky's time was nowhere close to him. The second best player is definitely, relatively speaking, closer to McDavid than what Wayne Gretzky had. However, nowadays everybody trains, eats clean. Like, it's insane how much. Thank you. Oh my god. How much more people train and all that kind of stuff. Back in their day, you could drink whiskey in between first and second, and smoke between the second and third. Like, he was just by far more skilled than everybody. That's fine. But McDavid is more skilled and, like, I can't say more athletic. I've seen a video of Wayne Gretzky winning a 100-yard dash. He was extremely explosive. But I hope you guys are seeing what I'm trying to say here. It might not be the most elegantly put, but I think the Connor McDavid skill gap nowadays is more impressive than the Wayne Gretzky skill gap. In the comments, let me know what you think. I'm not, again, not taking anything away from Wayne Gretzky. It'd be idiotic to do something like that. Of course, Wayne Gretzky has the stat where he's like, if he never scored a single goal, he would still be the all-time leadingest point getter. Like, how can you go against that? I just think with how sports are nowadays, athletes are all freaks of nature now. Back then, you could be I was watching a sick YouTube video on the different styles of quarterbacks, and I don't remember what his name is, but it was this like this guy had a barrel on him, like just an absolute gut. But he was throwing behind the back passes, and he was very good. Ooh, that was a nice slider. But like if you think Big Ben had a gut on him, oh, that could be a double. Yeah, fuck. That's like the worst thing that could have happened. Like, people make fun of Big Ben for being overweight. Oh, I thought I cranked it. I was pumped. But, like, again, he's in good shape. This guy genuinely just had a barrel. Oh, that could be a double at least. Come on, auto running. Where are you stopping me? Yeah, it's second. Smart. Okay, this is manageable still. I think I'm going to have to go on my actual channel and, like... I'm going to have to go watch my video. I'm scared. No, you're not going to run on that. Especially not on Julio Rodriguez. Oh yeah, there's no baseball games on today. What am I checking for? I'm making good contact. It's frustrating because you only have so many outs. You need perfect something. And it's not even like this is the winning run. I still have to get another run. Mr. Belt. I was thinking about squaring that one up. And by that, I mean pushing the square button. Fudge. Not good, Brandon. Not good. I don't understand. This guy has, like, he hits so many home runs, but I don't understand his swing. He, like... I don't think this is a good comparison, but he's like Edwin Encarnacio, how he swings two-handed. Pina's been really good for me. But he swings two-handed, but this guy kind of looks like he's hacking at it more. This is coming from a guy who's never swung a baseball in anything higher than T-ball, so don't really take my word for it. Ooh, that's nice. Pretty juiced about that. 10 likes and I open it. This guy also has a terrible hack. Again, like I know what the hell I'm talking about, but I'm allowed to have my opinion. Comments, what? Give me a TV show to watch. I'm very excited for when Invincible comes out. I thought they said that there's either an announcement in July, or it's coming out in July. So, but I thought I saw something recently that, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Recently that said it wasn't, like, it's not actually coming out in July. How the hell do I have 5 engagements but 4 impressions? Technology is weird. Is this Captain Clayton Kershaw? This is gonna make me eat my words with this curveball. Slider, told you. I don't want to go against sliders. Oh, I'm in trouble. I'm in danger. My hands are so sweaty. Thank you. Oh, let's go. As long as you're on base, that's good. Because anybody on this team can run into a home run. Oh, darling. Just me, myself, and I versus the computer. I'm also an idiot, so don't take anything I say seriously with this slider versus curveball. Hockey opinions I stand by, because when you play it at a high enough level like I did, you definitely see the finer details. Like, McDavid is a specimen. Just his sheer speed, his stick handling. I'm hesitant to see how good Bedard is. I don't know how tall he is. Like, I don't know if is he 6 foot? I'm worried he's not going to be as much of a play driver in the NHL. He was disgusting in juniors and when he played for Team Canada. I shouldn't have swung at that. I knew it as soon as I started pushing it. I didn't watch him enough in juniors to be confident in his NHL ability. Like, what's that range left? Alex Lafreniere or whatever. He was extremely hyped as well, but like, he was hyped because there was COVID. I'm pretty sure too, though. He doesn't throw anything in the goddamn zone. It's so annoying. Just give me a hanging breaking ball. There's not much more disappointing than when you get what you ask and you still fudge it up. Jock, you absolute demon. Wow. I thought he crushed it. Oh, I did just miss it on the PCI. But the PCI lies all the time, so it's annoying. Thank you, Juan. I mean, I might need to start making more shorts and more exaggerated faces, like, oh, what? My third baseman did what? I'm trying to think of some way to not make it sexual, but be like, my third baseman did what with his bat? Oh, my nose is itchy. Not a double. Okay, that's fine. I still need 2 more runs, so we're just waiting for Jeremy Pina Colada to step it up. I know that has to be in the gap at least. I was gonna say hanging curveballs. I'm so hot right now. My house gets up to like 30, which is very warm for those who's wondering. Yeah, it's like 29 right now, and I'm by a computer with a ring light on. I'm excited to play SAP after this. I've played enough MLB The Show. I can even stream while playing SAP and then just use that recording. This is like, it's just MLB The Show, and plus my game capture card was acting funky when I was streaming it. It was like flickering. It was really pissing me off. Nope. A 98 sinker. Fudge. I need to hit that. I don't care if... Oh, no, I was early on it. Okay, I just pulled my PCI. All right, that's fair. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Maybe I'll start posting during my lunch period. I mean, I have an hour lunch at work. And I come home because I don't want to be at work. I used to literally stay at work all day, bring a meal there. That's huge. Bring my meal to work, stay in my office and just watch TikToks. But I literally would rather... My work's not too far from where I live. It's like a 10-minute drive. So I'd rather come home for like 35 minutes than just stay at work. And I used to do a little bit of streaming in between on my lunch period. Oh, Jock, you dirty, dirty boy. Oh, no way. Wow. There you go. There's the thumbnail. Words are tough sometimes, you know? I forgot Trevor's story was on the Rockies. Oh my god, holy. Sorry, I think I just had a stroke. Squad, we gotta upgrade. Joey Gallo's been good enough for me. I don't think you've done too much for me. Okay, get out of there. don't need you. Alright, who am I going against? Dustin May. That's another fast sinker ball thrower. Not good for Brandon. My PCI is so much smaller too. Is that over their head? I don't think so. What a start. Oh my god, you gotta stick around to the end to see what happened. No. Jock, take it out on your old team. Oh, that was gross. Oh my god. It started out, like, you can't even put your PCI how far it was. I saw that starting to break and I was like, okay, yeah, that's in the zone. Jock, it just spanking the pitcher's bare bottom. It's gross. It's assault, honestly. He's assaulting their balls. It does blow my mind that Washington won and then literally blew it up a year or two later. I guess they still have Steven Strasburg. Gross. Disgusting. He's fast enough to where he might be able to get there. Wow, that is unearned. How much speed does he have? We're going for second. They're nervous. I can feel it in my loins. Man, they are playing atrocious defense. I just need something into the outfield. We can score. I was going to say. I think it's deep enough to advance the runner, which is very good. Because now literally anything hit, again, into the outfield or hard at somebody to where they bobble it, you might be able to score. Luckily, it was a line out, okay? Because that would have been a double play. What do you want me to do with that? Like, I don't think my PCI would even will even allow me to try and swing at that. I'm sorry, I was just really distracted. Charlie Blackmon's picture up there is definitely cross-eyed. There we go. 100 likes, I opened these packs, I'm telling you. My first baseman did what with the balls? Other cringy things to say. Alright. Thanks a lot. Don't be afraid to comment, share, like, tell your friends, tell your family. The King of Losers back, you know? This is where I'll insert something at the end of a video to be like, click on my other videos. I don't have any other videos, so that's not going to be there. Alright? Peace.